Hi everyone, welcome to Knowledge Center. Today in this video, I will make it very easy for you to write a counter program in microcontroller. There are two types of counter programs we get, that is up counter and a down counter. So first let us understand the flow of writing a counter program. Already I have written a program here, so I will just go on explaining you how I got those lines in the program. So very first part of this counter program is to initialize the starting number. If I take a up counter, so the up counter is nothing but, let us say I want to count from 00 to FFH. So it is an ascending order count. So what is the initial count here? The initial count is 00. First you assign that initial count to one register. So that's what I have mentioned here. Initiate the starting number or a starting count number. So this has been done in this program using the line move a comma 00h. Means org is the originate, and after that very first line what we have written is initiating the starting number, and you initiate it to accumulator only, because further I use it for adding some more numbers. So I will give initial number to accumulator. Next step is fix the maximum count. So what is the final number which you want to count? So our final number is FF, so that is the maximum count we need. So this FF has to be assigned to another register. So fix it and assign it to another register. So that's what we have done here. Move R1 comma hash 256. See, you may have a doubt now how the 256 is obtained in the picture, because I need to count up to FFH, not up to 256, right? So I'll tell you why we written 256 there. FF is nothing but in hexa it is. So if we convert that into decimal, you get it as 255. 255 is a decimal representation of a hexadecimal FFH. Okay. Now, including 0, I need to count 0 from 0, not from 1, right? So including 0, we get plus one more count. That is including 0 I am counting. So totally I have to count 256 numbers. I have to count up to 256. So I am just writing the decimal representation of this number over there. Okay, 256 is the number which we need to count. So we have written the decimal number over there. If you don't want to, see H is not mentioned here. If you mention H, then it will be a wrong, because you are writing a decimal number, so don't write H. I am writing a decimal number of the final numbers, maximum value which is to be counted. So 256 counts we require so that we can reach this number FFH. Okay. Instead of this, you can also directly remove this and write FFH as it is. Okay, no, not an issue. Then after doing this, okay, now we have initiated the initial, we have assigned the initial and final count. After that, we have to display it. Where you want to see the count values? So I will take a port 0 now. In that port 0, I just want to see the counts. So what is that initial value now? 00. So I want to see 00 at port 0. That is, display the count. So this can be achieved by just moving the content of accumulator into port 0. So that's what we have written here. Move 80H comma A. Here I have written that label. Let me erase it right now. Later you will come to know what it is. Move 80H comma A means what we have in A? We have initial count 00, that is given to 80H. What is 80H here actually? It is the address of port 0. So we cannot write P0 over there, because the write software will not understand that P0. So you have to mention the address of port 0, that is 80H. Okay. So 80H means it will be dumped into port 0. So we get 00 at port 0. That has been done. Display has been done. After that, you start the count. So keep starting. How to start? Add one number to the accumulator 00. So that's what I have done. Add a comma hash 01h. So I am adding 1 to accumulator. Earlier it was 0. Now if we add 1, it will be, accumulator will be 0, 1. Accumulator is going to be 0, 1. Okay. So now this accumulator is get incremented. That has to be displayed into a port 0. Okay. So to do that, what we have to do? We have to repeat this. Means I have to put it into port 0, and that line is here. You just put this data into port 0. And where do we have written that line? We have written that line here. Move 80H comma A. So I should jump to this line now. After incrementing, I should jump to this line. To jump, I used the instruction called DJ and Z. Decrement that R1. If it is not 0, then jump to this particular line. So what is the label I written? Up. Because it is an up counter, so I written up. So you should write that label at this line, UP, up. So now what happens? It incremented value will be given into ATH. So at this port 0, you get 1. You get the number which is added over there. So you got that number into port 0. That's the meaning. I got 1 over there. So we have started the count using this line, and we have repeated the count using this line. It will be repeated until and unless you get FF here. Okay? It will go on repeating. Accumulator will get incremented, and I'm just putting that into port 0 so that I can see the count value in port 0. You should see the display in the port 0. So finally it reaches its maximum value, that is FFH. Let me change the marker. So we get FFH. That is the final count. After that you have to stop. So end it. To end, we use a basic instruction sjump. Here. Same label has to be given and end it. This is all about the up counter. Now we can achieve the down counter using the same program by just making slight changes. Let's see that. So for down counter, you have to count from the, let us take like this. I have to write a program which count from FF to 00. So it is a down counter, right? It is decrementing. So it's called down counter. So for that down counter, same process, same logic has to be applied. First, initiate the starting count number. Here starting number is FF, not 00. So put that FF in the accumulator. So you need to make change here. I'll just make that change here. Instead of 00H, you have to put it as 0FFH. That is the starting number. And again, to get this into 00, I need to have 256 counts. This line remains same. Okay. Then display. This remains same. It is putting into ATH. That is port 0. In port 0, you get this. And then we should not add. You have to decrement it. So you can use a subtraction or you can use a decrement instruction. So I use decrement A. So A will get decremented. From FF it will become FE. So in accumulator we get FE. And check for this R1. If it is not 0, go back here. Now just let us make it easy. Instead of writing up, you can write down. And even if you keep up, not a problem, because that is just a label. Okay. So it will jump here and put that into ATH. So once we'll get it like this. FE. We'll get it FE into the port 0. Okay, it will repeat unless and until you get 0 into this. Finally, you get 0, and at that particular point, R1 will also become 0, and it will come out of it. That's the count. So you can see in port 0, the count is decrementing from FF to 00. So this is about the up and down counter. I hope this is clear for you. If it is so, press the like button and put a comment regarding this. Thank you.